What's up, guys? I'm BTC. We just got the details on the upcoming balance changes for Lifeweaver. These are in addition to the control scheme changes that I've already mentioned. These are going to be a series of buffs and nerfs for Lifeweaver because, honestly, he was kind of garbage when they released him. So they're making some changes. These will go into effect on April 25th, which is next Tuesday. And some of these changes are good. Some of these changes are not so good, and honestly, they make you ask why. Like, why are you doing this? It doesn't make any sense. This is really dumb. And then you have to take into consideration that the Overwatch 2 dev team has a new lead hero designer since Jeff Goodman left a while ago, and the new guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's actually pretty awful at his job, which is why the hero balance is so garbage, and that makes total sense. But let's go and check out the changes to this character. So the first thing is going to be the Healing Blossom, which is his primary. This is getting a buff and also a very weird change. So the first thing, the buff, is that the ammo is going to increase from 12 to 20, which means that you can heal for a good amount more before you need to reload. Very good for a healer. However, they're also changing the movement slow that you get. So I pointed this out before. It is really stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever for Lifeweaver to have a movement slow when he is trying to heal his teammates. It's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Freyanna has a movement slow because she zooms in and she can see the targets more clearly, and because you now turn your projectile attack into a hit scan. So it makes sense to put a little bit of a penalty on this. With Lifeweaver, there's no reason for this penalty because there's no extra benefit that you're getting from having it charged. Now, the thing that they're changing, though, they're not completely removing the movement penalty. Instead, what they're doing is that now you'll be able to move around at full speed until 1 second after you've fully charged. So when you charge this up, you're moving at full speed, and then after 1 second of full charge, then you get hit with the movement penalty. I don't know why they're doing this. It doesn't make any sense. It is very weird, and I don't know, it's just a very dumb, very just strange way to change the ability. Regardless, next thing is a buff to the character, and this is going to be with his Thorn Volley. They're going to tighten the spread. Now, I don't know how much they're going to tighten it. As you can see, the normal version right here, this is a fairly large spread over that distance. But again, that's a pretty far distance. When you're up close, that spread is not really all that bad. What I think is probably going to end up happening is, depending on how much they actually, how much they actually tighten up this spread, it might actually make him kind of like a almost, I'd say almost like a pseudo sniper at long distance. I mean, if that is, let's say they reduce it even by like 20%, that means you are going to be able to hit targets, critical hits on targets from very far away with pretty rapid attacks. That is probably going to be too strong, and I have a feeling that they're going to end up nerfing it. Remember, these are projectiles, which means there's no falling damage. So you're going to be able to almost, not quite, but almost pinpoint critical hit at long ranges. Again, depending on how much they tighten that up. We'll have to see what it is, but that seems kind of, I don't know if that was such a good idea. Another thing that they're changing is that the reload for this is going to be a little bit longer than it was before. And most normal characters have it at 1.5 seconds. I don't exactly know what his is right now. It might be 1.5. But they did say that they're going to increase it by a little bit. We'll have to see what that is. Next up is the Tree of Life. The health of the tree itself went from 1,200, went up to 1,200. It was 1,000. And the pulse of healing has gone up to 75, and it used to be 50. So this is now going to be a little bit beefier of an ultimate. It's going to heal for a little bit more, and it still honestly feels kind of underwhelming. The thing that I would add to this, like if I just had to throw something out, like if I just had to make a quick change to make this ultimate a little bit more interesting, a little bit better, I would put cleansing on it. Make it so that it throws out a cleanse every once in a while. Or if you didn't want to do that, if you thought that was too strong, then maybe you could have it so that it just does a cleanse when you initially create the tree, and maybe when the tree goes away as well. You could have 2 cleanses. So if you have a group of teammates that are hit with an anti or they're stunned or slowed or something, you can throw your ultimate down and it will cleanse all of them. So basically like what Zarya's bubbles do already, but it would have a larger effect. And that would be pretty significant. I mean, you could remove the ante, you could remove a stun, you could remove any number of things, and provide your team with an instant benefit, and then you can provide some, you know, a little bit of slow healing over time. So that could possibly work. It might be too strong, though. We'll have to, it would require some testing. But right away, like, his ultimate still seems very, very lackluster, very kind of meh to me. Another thing that they're going to be changing is the passive. Apparently, they're completely removing it, which doesn't make any sense to me. The problem with the passive, it's not a completely garbage passive. The problem with it is that you're giving healing to the enemy team, which doesn't make any sense. It incentivizes prioritizing this character. So you're going to get rid of that, right? When you should leave it there and just make it so that it heals your team only, and make it so that it heals for a little bit less. I forget what it is right now. I think it's like 250 or 275. It's a lot. It heals for a huge amount. You could change it to like maybe 100, and it only heals teammates. That would be a perfectly fine passive for this character, right? Like, it wouldn't be amazing, it wouldn't be just incredible, but again, it's just like a little extra thing when your character gets eliminated. Well, now your teammates have, you know, a free health pack, basically. And that would be fine. There's no reason to completely remove it. That's just dumb. And again, it just goes... It's kind of hand in hand with the people who are actually trying to balance these characters because they don't know what they're doing. Now, in addition to all of this, of course, is going to be the changes to the config for the character's attack. You're going to have left click, which will be the primary. You're going to have right click, which is going to be the attack. And then, instead of having the dash on the first ability, it's going to be... The first ability is going to be the pedals, and then the dash is going to be on a double jump. So it's going to work exactly like Hanzo, where you are facing the direction you want, or you're holding the direction you want, and then you double jump, and you'll move in that direction. But it's just better than what Hanzo has, because I think it's about the same cooldown. Maybe, I forget what Hanzo's cooldown is. It's pretty close, though. And, but the difference main being is that you get healed for Lifeweaver's dash, and Hanzo doesn't. So that's, you know, it's pretty much objectively better in almost every way for Lifeweaver's dash. And speaking of Hanzo and passives, I wanted to quickly show this to you guys, because if you look at the hero details for the DPS characters, eliminations grant a burst of increased reload speed, and it was like, well, hold on a second here. Hanzo doesn't reload, so... does that actually benefit him? So this is how long it takes to reload normally, right? And then after you get an elimination. Bullseye. Double kill. So it does appear that there is an increased speed in how fast he can reload. Now, obviously, it's only the next arrow, unlike, you know, all the other characters in the game who get to reload their entire weapon and whatnot. Hanzo only gets a single arrow, although I suppose that is technically reloading the entire weapon. Regardless, the point is that the DPS passive for Hanzo does actually work. It does actually do something, even though it looked like it was just, you know, kind of, you know, well, he doesn't reload, so what's the deal? Also, apparently the Sigma passives are broken. I don't know when they're going to fix that or not. But there you go. Those are the changes to Lifeweaver. Some of them, like I said, some of them are good. Some of them are not good, and you just have to wonder what the hell they're thinking, because like it doesn't make any sense. But there you go. What do you guys think about these changes? Let me know down below.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and